At a boda stage on Kampala's Jinja Road, Hussein Seremba waits for passengers from whom he earns his daily income. To Seremba, attainment of middle income status is not something of concern. Upon explanation, the revelation of the amount he generates at the end of the month pushes him above the poverty line. He can be regarded a middle income earner. To categorize him as a middle income earner is something he vehemently disagrees with, based on the little he is left with after expenditure. Because economic concepts like middle income are derived from averages, even people with no money or a source of livelihood are assigned an annual income.
That one rich man has wealth that should go to 2 million people. The 2 million are poor, but when you divide this wealth by all the 2 million, each one gets this much. So people shouldn't really read so much into it. You know, that's the problem. That's why people say these economic figures, we don't feel in our pockets.
In other words, each member of the population should be in position to generate about 300,000 shillings monthly, sum to about 3.6 million shillings annually.
These figures around middle income just are used to compare the wealth of nations. How wealthy is Uganda as compared to Kenya or Tanzania or the US?
President Yoweri Museveni said during the celebrations to mark the Liberation Day at Kololo ceremonial grounds that the GDP per capita is $900 slightly short of the $1,039 required for a jump into the middle income status.
It is high time to rapidly develop to high middle income status, not just low middle income status. Why do I say this? I say this because some of the people have already achieved high middle income status at individual, homestead.
Economists are pessimistic about the jump into the middle income status in a way that is not directly linked to the well-being of the average person.
An ordinary person, it means nothing. It means nothing. At country level, it shows the financial muscle of the country. But now, looking down to the ordinary person, it really means nothing. I'll give you some examples. South Africa has a better income status, but when it comes to employment, it performs poorly as compared to Uganda.
They say the energy exerted in the direction is misguided.
You know, government should look at these figures holistically. See, GDP is one measure. Even countries have started looking at happiness. How happy are people? The UAE has a minister for happiness. There's a happiness index, for instance. UNDP has come up with what we call a Human Development Index, trying to look how are people in that country, how are people doing holistically, looking at various measures, not just at the economic. They look at the social. Do you have high rates of malnutrition?
They place the benefit of the middle income status at the tail end.
If your new economy are richer, you're likely to attract investors and other kinds of capital. Because these are the measures that potential investors look at. They look at your GDP per capita. They look at your ranking in terms of doing business and other things. The reason these measures are put there is to assist outsiders who are not on the ground to try to compare economies as they make decisions.
The National Resistance Movement government has put its emphasis on the parish development model, which the economists say has the potential of having meaningful impact to all if it is implemented well. Jackson Onyango, NTV.